Guru Jai. Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai. Paramahansa Yogananda Jai Guru Jai. Paramahansa Yogananda Jai Guru Jai. Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai. Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai. Paramahansa Yogananda Jai Guru Jai. Paramahansa Yogananda Jai Guru Jai. Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai. Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai. Paramahansa Yogananda Jai Guru Jai. Paramahansa Yogananda Jai Guru Jai. Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai. Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai. Paramahansa Yogananda Jai Guru Jai. Paramahansa Yogananda Jai Guru Jai. Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai. Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai. Paramahansa Yogananda Jai Guru Jai. Paramahansa Yogananda Jai Guru Jai. Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai. Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai. Paramahansa Yogananda Jai Guru Jai. Paramahansa Yogananda Jai Guru Jai. Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai. Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai. Paramahansa Yogananda Jai Guru Jai. Paramahansa Yogananda Jai Guru Jai. Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai. Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai. Paramahansa Yogananda Jai Guru Jai. Paramahansa Yogananda Jai Guru Jai. Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai. Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai. Paramahansa Yogananda Jai Guru Jai. Paramahansa Yogananda Jai Guru Jai. Paramahansa Yogananda Jai Guru Jai.
Om Namo Narayana. 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 Om Namo Narayan. 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 Namo Narayan. Om 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 Namo Narayan.
तुम्हारा मैं तुम्हारा मैं तुम्हारा प्रभु मैं तुम्हारा तुम्हारा हो जाओ मेरे हो जाओ मेरे हो जाओ मेरे हो जाओ मेरे प्रभु मैं तुम्हारा तुम्हारा हो जाओ मेरे हो जाओ मेरे हो जाओ मेरे हो जाओ मेरे प्रभु मैं तुम्हारा तुम्हारा Lord, I am thine, I am thine, I am thine. Lord, I am thine, I am thine. Lord, I am thine, I am thine, I am thine. Lord, I am thine, I am thine. Be thou mine, oh, be thou mine. Be thou mine, oh, be thou mine. I am thine, I am thine. Be thou mine, oh, be thou mine. Be thou mine, oh, be thou mine. I am thine, I am thine. Lord, I am thine, I am thine, I am thine. Lord, I am thine, I am thine. प्रभु मैं तुम्हारा मैं तुम्हारा मैं तुम्हारा प्रभु मैं तुम्हारा तुम्हारा Now we'll just take 2 minutes to prepare for satsang by Dhyana ji.
Satsang is interactive and there's a Q&A session as well. So it'll help if we can further cuddle up in. There's a lot of space. We can move the chairs forward. We can reduce the distance between chairs. We'll give a nice family feeling. So please move your chairs forward. हाँ, ये तो रहेगा।
Very interactive. We'll see what I mean.
Welcome, everybody. It's so good to be here and good to see you all. Jyotishji and Deviji arrive and just tomorrow night, we're preparing for them. Thus, we thought today we would have the satsang around preparation for how to receive them properly in our hearts. And so you might have questions, and we have a few questions. And so I think it will be a different but a really important time. So I'll ask you now that you're all seated to stand, and we'll start with the prayer together. Heavenly Father, Divine Mother, friend, beloved God, great masters, Jesus Christ, Babaji Krishna, Layadima Shaya, Swami Shri Yukteswarji, beloved Master, Paramahansa Yogananda Ji, saints of all religions, we bow to thee. Bless our lives with greater attunement to thy divine ray, to thy light, thy joy. We want to know thee. Receive us and bless this satsang now with thy presence. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. We'll meditate now for a few minutes with a guided meditation by Swami Kriyanandaji. Please lower the lights. I could have a table here with water. Thank you. And then Natindra, are we going with the video or the audio? It's the, okay, got it. So let's sit up, inhale the double breath, prepare yourself. Again. Feel the blessings from the ceremony, from the chanting, and we'll listen to Swamiji Kriyanandaji guiding us into meditation.
In the corner of my heart, I have a mystic throne for thee. The candles of my joys are dimly lighted in the hope of thy coming. They will burn brighter when thou appearest. Whether thou comest or not, I will wait for thee until my tears melt away all material grossness. To please thee, my love-perfumed tears will wash thy feet of silence. The altar of my soul will be kept empty until thou comest. I will talk not. I will ask naught of thee. I will realize that thou knowest the pangs of my heart while I wait for thee. Thou dost know that I am praying. Thou dost know that I love no other. Yet, whether thou dost come to me or not, I will wait for thee, though it be for eternity.
Let's meditate a few minutes together now. Now feeling divine blessings. Let's do this affirmation of Master together. Repeat after me. I am submerged in eternal light. It permeates every particle of my being. I am living in that light. The divine presence fills me within and without. I am submerged in eternal light. It permeates every particle of my being. I am living in that light. The divine presence fills me within and without. I am submerged in eternal light. It permeates every particle of my being. I'm living in that light. The divine presence fills me within and without. I am submerged in eternal light. It permeates every particle of my being. I'm living in that light. The divine presence fills me within and without. Whispering, I am submerged in eternal light. It permeates every particle of my being. I'm living in that light. The divine presence fills me within and without. Mentally repeat, looking up at the spiritual eye. I am submerged in eternal light. It permeates every particle of my being. I am living in that light. The divine presence fills me within and without. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. We'll be seeing a brief video excerpt of Swami Kriyanandaji now, and then we'll go into questions and answers. There's lots of space up here in the front on the floor. If anyone wants to come sit up here, you can't see very well from back.
One time I was with Master, and he said that it's very difficult at the beginning when I have to take on a new personality. It feels a bit like an itchy overcoat on a hot day. And then I get used to it and it's okay. So Master was not that personality. He was the infinite consciousness, but he expressed himself in that personality. And I hope to talk about his personality, and I hope to talk also about its impact on other people. Because if he had that personality and we didn't get any of it, what's the use? Be like a turtle living with a master for 20 years, and what would he get? Nothing. So Master shared his wisdom, shared his knowledge. In his later years, he was, in the earlier years, he wanted to bring people to the thought that I too can do this. And so he was he diminished his own importance. Later in the years I came to him, he talked more the way Jesus did, of his own oneness with God. And in fact, I remember one time we were out of the desert, and Daniel Boone, a strange name, but it was actually his name, he asked Master, what about that saint you saw in Encinitas? And Master said, well, which saint? I've seen so many. And he said, well, the one on the bluff outside above the ocean. And Master said, how could I remember? I've seen so many saints, and I was surprised that he'd seen so many. And he said, why be surprised? Wherever God is, there his saints come. They printed that book in a book of his sayings, and the editor changed it. Wherever a devotee of God is, she said, there his saints come. Well, I'm a devotee of God. I cannot claim to have been so pestered. His actual words were, wherever God is. And one other time, he said, when you're one with God, you are God. That's an astonishing statement. But you know, there's no other possibility. God's the only reality there is. When we seek God, we're not seeking somebody apart from us. He's not somebody who Christians have claimed he's wholly other. He brought you into existence out of his own bliss. That's why everybody in the world is seeking the same thing. They all want happiness. They all want joy. I remember I had a dream in Florence, Italy, some years ago. And in this dream, all kinds of people were in a mob of people in the streets. And some were mafiosi, some were businessmen, hard-headed and so on. Some were very kind and saintly people. But I saw that all of them want the same thing. Everybody wants bliss. Everybody wants happiness. Oh, sure, a criminal won't think of it as bliss. He'll translate it into a lower octave. He'll think of bliss in terms of getting even with other people or harming them in some way or taking money from them. But always what they want is happiness. And happiness on the highest octave is bliss. And so all of us really in the whole world were motivated by that same thing. And I realized that is my motivation for loving everybody. Because we all want the same thing. We may not all understand it as well, but we still all want the same thing. And so in Master's later years, he talked very much on a level of, as Jesus did, his oneness with God. And those who came to him in the early years couldn't understand that. They kept relating to him as a human being. I remember a member of Ananda, she'd lived in Encinitas for some years, and she had worked in the kitchen. She'd moved the spices around, and the cook furiously said, Master wouldn't have put up with it. Master would put up with anything. I remember one time he came to the monk's kitchen. It was an absolute mess. Fortunately, we'd done the dishes, but apart from that, and he looked around with a smile and said, well, it could be worse. But he could tolerate anything. Master was so sweet and so loving. But in the early years, people who came to him thought of him as harsh. He wasn't harsh. When he scolded me, I'd look into his eyes and I'd see the deep regret there that he had to talk strongly to me to get a point across that I couldn't have understood if he had just said it casually. He loved, as I said, everybody. He loved everybody as his own self. But to us in the later years, he showed that higher self more easily, more frequently. And I was with him for many months out in the desert where he explained things in great detail. I wonder if he said that much to other disciples, because I know that the person who edited his Bhagavad Gita, he wanted me to do it, but since I got thrown out on my ear, I couldn't get into their archives. They didn't have the Gita. And I prayed to Master. I had a dream of him one time. I said, Sir, you told me to do the Gita. I want to do it, but how can I do it? I can't get into the archives. He said, don't overlook the possibility of a skylight. And you know, years later, I thought, I've got to do this work. And I started to write. I remembered every single stanza of the whole Gita, everything he had said. And it's a great scripture. And I don't know how I did it, but it was in my memory. He brought it back to me. But his greatness was amazing.
The lights on. I think I'll stand since there's so many people, you wouldn't be able to see me. Nitendra, you can stand over here, you know? If you have questions, just hold them and Nitendra will ask for them as we have the time. Yeah, go ahead.
So yeah, maybe I can start so that we know what kind of questions are perhaps appropriate for this forum.
Why not?
So Dhyanaji, the first one is, who are Jyotishji and Deviji? I mean, of course we know them, but if you could shed light on how long did they spend time with Swamiji and what other positions did they hold?
Well, I think not everybody knows them. And if you have seen them, maybe you still don't know them. I'm still getting to know them. And I've known them for over 4 decades. So we really can't say that we know another person, isn't it so? And why have they come? Why are they here? Why were they with Swamiji? Why did they help start Ananda? Why did they help start Ananda in Europe? Why did they help start Ananda in India? They were sent by Master, let's face it. They came with Swamiji to help Master's work. And so they're not just everyday people who just have a lot of desires and they have their house. And that's not what Ananda's about. Ananda's much deeper. And they have come to share Master's teachings, his vibrations, his love, his joy. It's not something we can take personally. I live with them when they're here, but it's never personal. It's always very impersonal. It's a lot about India and what's happening in India, and I get advice from them and on, but they are channels for the masters. And let's keep it in mind and respect them for that. And not, you know, when Swamiji went to Master, what did he say? I want to be your disciple. For the very first time he met him. And he said, I didn't come for what I can get. I came for what I can give. And I think Jyotish and Deviji came to Swamiji not for what they can get, but what they can give. And I further, that's what we should be here, not what we can get, but what we can give. And so they're the global Nanda Sangha spiritual directors. They've been with Swamiji from the beginning. Before Ananda, Jyotishji was there. You know the story he tells about going to Swamiji's apartment in San Francisco. And Swamiji asked him, would you like to help me with the project? And it's been all these decades, he's still helping with the projects. And so I think it's from past lives. Honestly, they must have been with, I mean, many of us, I would consider myself and consider yourself, we must have been with Swamiji, with Master. And we helped Swamiji before. So he brought us again, said, okay, would you help me with the project? So there are examples of helping with projects for the whole lifetime, basically. They have a child, he's an adult, of course, and grandchildren, and they love them and all. I've seen them send he was 8 years old then, their child, when we were serving in Italy together, they sent him back to school in America while they stayed in Europe for 9 months. They're dedicated. How many people would even dream of doing something like that? The child lived with another Ananda family, went to school. There were a lot of tears around that. That wasn't easy. Who would even want to do it? Who would even have the courage to do something like that? I saw them bring the same child to Ananda, San Francisco before Italy. He was 5 then. He lived there, went to school there, 5 years old in an ashram. But the dedication that they have, the commitment to Master, to Swamiji, to Ananda, I mean, their one is up in 80s and travel around the world. You know, they travel all the time. Why? Service to God and Guru, love for Guru, wanting to help people. I mean, I don't know anybody who has that much desire to help people. That's all they want to do is help people. Tell the stories of Master, tell the stories of Swamiji, tell how to serve, and parents, the spiritual parents of all of us. And so why would they come here to India now? They love India for one, but they would come anyway. They love India, they have Indian hearts. They probably were Indians many lifetimes, like a lot of us, and they're back. So I would just keep in mind that they're the channels for the guru. Someone asked me last week or week before, I was in another city with the leader there in a crowd like this. And one of the questions was, how did we get so lucky to get this guy to be our leader? And I didn't fool around. I said, Master sent him. He didn't, I'm going there to help you. This is the gurus are sending the help that we need at the time that we need it. Doesn't it make sense? And so who sent us here? Master sent us here. Who started the center? The guru started the center. Who sent all the people who are serving here? They did. I heard a talk of Swamiji yesterday. He said, I love this thing. He said, I realized after a time, because he never called himself a teacher even. He never did. And especially not your teacher. I'm your teacher. I never heard that. I'm your friend and guide as much as you want, especially the friend part. But I heard him on a talk saying, I realized that I was always teaching myself. That's who I was teaching. This is what we have to keep in mind. It's not, I'm giving you, that's not Jyotishan Deviji. It never was Swamiji's, no Ananda teacher. I'm serving my guru, and however I can serve is fine. And Master said, the channel's blessed by what flows through it. So of course you're benefiting from it. So I would say, I don't know people who are more humble, but humility means you have to have ego, and I don't see that they have it. And I see free souls in those bodies. When I'm with them a lot, I see everything. And I always see giving, and giving. So what a blessing to have people like that come here and be with us. And the other thing I'll say before the other questions is keep in mind how to receive. It's not like, I see this, and people are so, that's not how you receive. These things are subtle. You can't grab the person. I read something with Swamiji was talking about hugging, and he says this hugging is he wasn't liking hugging. And I remember when he had his heart surgery, because he did hug people at the beginning a little bit, but not a whole lot. I mean, he was like, grow up. Do you need that? And so I remember after he had triple or which bypass, anyway, he had bypass surgery. He had on a badge that said, consider yourself hugged. Just like, leave it. But just be more reverential, and not like, I'm not going to get it if I don't, and if they don't see me and they don't, it doesn't work that way. Blessings don't work that way. I'm here to tell you if you don't know. It's very subtle. And it's got to be, it's not like a taking. It's more like what Swamiji said, when people touch my feet, I feel they're blessing me. The blessing, you should be blessing the person. Does it make sense? I know this is contrary to what's been done for centuries, but I don't really care because I've seen it. If it's more subtle, if it's more reverential, if it's in your heart, and I mean, people say you're Western. I'm not Western. You're not Indian. Let's face it. Who are we? Who are you? Think about it. I mean, think about it. We're a soul. So in this lifetime, you might have that body, you might have this culture, but we've been everything. I remember once this woman was telling me, we were in Swamiji's house, and in America. And she said, oh, Dhyana, here, I want to give you this book. I read this book. And so I said, okay, great. We were in Swamiji's kitchen. Swamiji comes in. He says, oh, what's everything about? And what's happening? And I said, oh, she gave, so then my friend said, oh, I gave Dhyana a book about her people. That's all he needed to hear. He looked at me, who are your people? And I said, honestly. So let's not think of anybody as he's that, she's that. What do they know? They're not even from India. Well, the samskars are there. That's all I'll say. And Master said a lot of Westerners were Indian souls that born in the West. And a lot of Indians were Westerners who happen to be born here this time. So we can't get caught up in the outer appearance. We have to feel. You feel. How do you get blessings? Deep feeling, longing, desire, but not grabbing. Like you remember in Mumbai, I lived in Mumbai for 9 months, and we would have every satsang, we had cupcakes for this prasad, and tea and whatever. So those cupcakes were good. And the cook made them. So I remember one guy, he came a little late, so the cupcakes were gone. I think he came for the cupcakes, actually. So the cupcakes were gone. So he was sitting there. I said, what's wrong? He says, cupcakes are over. They're over. It's like, I mean, didn't you come for satsang? He said, cupcakes are over. So, just think about it. It's never over with blessings. It's never, ever, ever over. If you get it then, if you get it later, if you get it here, if you get it here, it's never over. You might be over, but the blessings are always flowing. So keep that in mind. And as they speak, draw from them. I've been in talks that you're talking and the people in the back. I'm not saying these people here. The people in the back are reading or looking at their phone or sleeping or something, and not you people. But anyway, you get the point. When they're here, really from the talks, just draw. Meaning you're with them, you're listening, you're attentive, you're opening your heart, not just your brain, but you're open. And whatever master's channeling, you're taking it in. Does that make sense? This is very important. Otherwise, you can be in the front row and get nothing. Like in a school, the kids who the teacher says, who wants to answer that question? That's the person who's learning the most, isn't it? Otherwise, you're not getting it, no matter how much the person's giving. I hope that's helpful. That probably answered 5 of the questions. Any more?
Yes, Dhanaji. So the program with Jyotishji and Deviji is in 2 weeks from now. So what can we do between then and now to prepare ourselves to be more in tune with them?
I would say this, and I want to say this about everything. You have to go? What are you doing? You have to go? Acha, take it. I watch everybody. Nobody can get away with anything, especially if I'm standing up. What was I going to say? So yes, this is what I want to say. In 2 weeks, they are coming. In your meditations, your all Kriya Bands are on the way, isn't it so? Pray to Master to help you, to open up to his blessings. They could come and go and you still don't feel anything. In your meditation, every day, Master, help me to receive the gift you want to give me. I want that gift, but I don't know how to open myself. You see what I'm saying? Pray to Guruji's, pray to Babaji, help me to receive you through Jyotishji Deviji. Listen to their talks you can go on YouTube and Treasures. Their blogs are in books that are right out there. I would get them and read. Don't just come cold, like you don't know anything. That's the person who's prepared. Why do we do Kriya prep? So by the time you get Kriya, you got it. We don't give Kriya if you don't do the prep. So it's the same with someone of their stature coming. Prepare yourself. Pray, listen to the talks, read the books. Then you come and you say, oh, this is Deviji. Oh, this is Jyotishji. Oh, I read, they will love to hear. I read your book. I heard your blog. I read your blog. I saw you on YouTube instead of, who are you? like my little nephew. I've told this, but I love to tell it. So he's like, but last time I saw him, this time I went to America, I saw him, he was like 8. Last time I saw him, he was 5 or 4 or something, meaning I don't see him very often. Cute little guy, my brother's son. And my brother's first wife passed away from cancer, so he remarried. So he has small, children, young children. So I went there and I said, here's the little guy, he's 8, and he's looking like, who are you? And I said, now you got to remember me. I'm your aunt. I'm your father's sister, Aunt Dhyana. I live in India, that's why I didn't see me, but I'm Aunt Dhyana. He says, oh, okay. So I stayed at their house a couple of hours and had dinner and everything. So as I was leaving, he was there and I said, no, you're not going to forgive me. Because this time he didn't know who I was. You're not going to forgive me next time I come. He says, no. I said, I'm your aunt. Remember, I'm your aunt. And he says, yeah, I know. He says, what's your name again? Aunt Dhyana. So that's how with Jyotish and Devi. Who are you again? It shouldn't be like that at all. Okay, so then
Any other questions? We rarely get an opportunity. It's usually the other way around when Dhyanaji is asking us questions. But so Dhyanaji, till there are questions from the floor. How much time did you spend with Jyotishji and Deviji? Is there anything special that you would remember that you learned from them?
Yeah, that's good. So I lived with them at Ananda, San Francisco for a number of months. A big, huge house with 30 people in it. They were in charge of the house. We had a restaurant where we all served. I was with them then. I was like 25 or 6 or something like that. So I lived with them then. Then we went to Italy. I lived with them for 9 months in our first Italy ashram, in the same small house. Okay, then back in America, I lived downstairs from them. They lived upstairs, I lived downstairs. That went on for 14 years or something. Every morning I'd pass by their window on my way to the office, and I would walk over the hill to the Sangha office. Every morning I came up to their house, bang, bang, bang on the window. Hi. And they'd come to the window and say, every day for 14 years. And then when they come here, we live in the same house. We're together a lot. And that's been a great blessing for me. So yes, I've been with them. I've traveled with them around Europe teaching, in Germany and different countries, throughout Italy. Yeah, I think we've been on the front lines many lifetimes. I mean, it's obvious. I mean, it's a very deep relationship, but here again, it's not personal. I never see them. I see them when they come here and I see them when I go there. That's it. So it's not like we're just in the house together and, no. It's very centered. It's very centered energy.
Any questions?
Bolia.
So you said, you just mentioned that, don't come here thinking, what am I getting out of
Yes.
this? What can I give? So what do you mean by that?
Yeah, how
What
can I
exactly?
serve? I mean, there's golden opportunities. There's a huge program coming up here in 2 weeks, isn't it? I hope everybody has signed up for some seva. I mean, we have a hall for 250 people or something like that. And I mean, I know I've seen some of you having meetings and all. I would say everybody here, please sign up for something. Yeah, I mean, there's things to do. There's prasad, I'm sure there's flowers, there's different opportunities, choir likely, and a big program. It's not easy to pull off if you don't have a good team and a big team. So I would see Jayanti, who's asked this wonderful question. I see Jayanti, or please stand, Jayanti or Kamal or Nitindra. just after, and please sign up for something. Yeah. You all, Shashank and also Sanjeev, just stand up. You can see in either of them as well. But please, everybody, it's a team effort. And I used to be in, thank you. I used to be in with Swamiji when we have Rajasi Day at Ananda. Let me introduce my wonderful friends. Please stand. This is Dhyan and Shaman. Dhyan is the community manager at Ananda Village and does lots more than that. And Shama is in charge of promotions for Ananda, Sangha, Ananda Village, and beyond Ananda, excuse me, it's worldwide. We're serving worldwide over here. So they're my dear friends. And when you see me online from America on Wednesdays, that's how I can do it. They're there with the camera, microphones and everything. And so thank you. Anyway, what question was that? Was
So
how to serve? How to serve? Yeah, so I mean, they've been giving for long, long time, been around and on. So I was at Rajasi Day. That's what I was saying. It's a community event. So what does it mean? Rajasi had a lot of energy. He put a lot of energy out. He did many things. And a community that big, hundreds of acres, you have a lot to do. Anyway, everybody shows up, and I would be at those with Swamiji. Swamiji had projects as well. It wasn't just, oh, you go over there, I don't do anything. I'll just come to the talk. You know, we all did it. Many hands make a miracle. And so think of something that you can add to the miracle that's about to happen here in a couple of weeks. Okay, thank you. And
Hi.
hi.
So, of all the things that you've learned from Swamiji, what is that one thing that has stayed with you forever?
Yeah, I'll say for Swamiji and I'll say with Jyotish and Deviji. I would say first from Jyotish and Deviji, commitment, dedication, endurance, sticking to something till it's completed, doing things with joy, selflessness, detachment, love for people, constant giving, no matter how you feel. I said joy, joyful giving, wisdom. There's a lot of wisdom there, but no ego. I mean, there's so many people here in India and America too, but they're all of this, but it's just this, how can the flow really happen if there's such a big ego there? So I don't see egoless there. That's huge. Just that alone is big. Okay, so that's what I'll say for them. For Swamiji, all of the above, and Jyotish and Deviji too, deep, deep attunement to master, and deep, not just attunement. Some people could be trying to be in tune, but they don't do much. So following through with the attunement. You saw what Swamiji said, you know, master said, what about a skylight? He never stopped. He just kept going until he reached that goal. And so that's what I learned. I remember once, I'll tell this story, which you may have heard, that I put together along with Jayaji, some Kriya booklets. You may have seen them in your courses. I think there were 8 of them, turns out. But at the beginning, the very first one had a picture of Devendraji on it. You know, he was meditating, and I thought, this is a good. So I did the covers, and Jayaji did the editing of Swamiji's talks for the insight. So we sent the book to Swamiji. I was here in India. I just come and I get word back from Nayaswami Shivani that Swamiji doesn't like the cover. What does it matter with the cover? I mean, I couldn't understand that for anything. I mean, this is a great book. How can he look at the cover? It's just so ridiculous. So I wrote Swamiji back. I can't, it's 2000 now. I can't change the cover because it's 2000, takes too much work. You know, I'm ashamed to say it, but it's the truth. I said all these reasons why I could not do the project. Well, what did he do? He didn't write me back. Days and days went by, weeks. I was just getting smaller and smaller, just feeling so bad. Finally, I wrote Swamiji and said, I'm so sorry. This is the wrong attitude. I'm happy to take those covers off, get a new cover and put them on, 2,000 books. And then I sent him, I said, if you would choose for us the proper cover, we'd be so happy to put that cover. He wrote back within 5 minutes. 5 minutes. If you were to ask me, I would put master on the cover. Duh. I'm like, of course. And after that, 7 more books came out one by one. So I was blocking. I don't want. Soon as that block was off, and the same with Swamiji and Jyotish and Devi, open yourself, open to the energy, open to possibilities, open to inspiration, open to, I can, I will, I want to. This is what I learned the most from Swamiji and Jyotish and Deviji, the I can say yes to life spirit. And I hope that everybody here gets that, because when you have that key, the doors open and everything flows. If you don't have that key, like someone told me, we used to go all around, we're going starting up again this fall, all the major cities in India teaching. And we taught energization. I remember standing on tables teaching energization because people couldn't see. It was just, I love it. And we're going back out there again. But anyway, one man learned the energization. And next time we came around to the same city, Mumbai or somewhere, and because he was kind of low energy, he says, you know, Nyanji, now I'm better. I'm still sitting on the couch, but at least I can sit up and watch TV. Because of energization. I said, well, that's a start. So you get started, and then you find, yeah, okay, I can do it. Like I like to walk every day, and it's hard walking this, but I look outside and I don't want to do it. I just have to get to the door. Just get to the door. Okay, now put your hand on the doorknob. Now pull it and go. So you just have to get going. This is what I learned. Don't be stagnant, lazy, or unwilling. Those are the biggest lessons, I think. Once you get rid of those, everything else is easier.
Deviji, do Jyotishji and Deviji guide the work for you in Ananda India?
Huh.
How do they do that?
Yeah, I hope you don't think I'm alone. They definitely, I talk to them all the time. I get advice all the time. It's interesting because it's subtle. I feel them all the time. I feel their thoughts. They said to me once about 4 months ago, Dhyana, we feel that the decisions you're making are ones that Swamiji would approve of, and Master would approve of those decisions. And I said, yeah, possibly. But I said, don't move yourselves out of the equation. Also, I get it from you. And they said, yeah, I guess that's right. You know, it's something, because there's a line. There's the line of blessings. It's subtle, but it's the masters through Swamiji, through Jyotish and Deviji. And actually, I listen to them. Maybe a lot of people don't, but I hear them. And they tell me, don't do something. I don't do it. I don't go, I want to do that anyway. Then you're in trouble, you know? So yeah, and once a year they come here. We stay together. Once a year I go there and I'm with them, and you know, but it's from lifetimes. It's not casual. Hi, my name's Dhyana. That's not what it's like. These are subtle links from past lives. And you know, here's a point. It's a subtle point. I hope you understand it, but different people could be in this position that I'm placed in now in India. There's other people. There's a lot of people at Ananda Village, a lot of people at the different centers. But I have the link with Jyotish and Deviji. Pretty much simple. You know, if you get somebody here and they're going like this, You know, we're like this, like a family. Like if you send your son to somewhere and you tell him to do something, you know, he's going to do it. See the difference? Instead of somebody you don't know, well, go over there and good luck. So that link is important. And with that, I'm able to make decisions. If I'm not sure, I definitely talk with them. I talk with them a lot, but they don't say, it's interesting. They won't say, do this, you know, they just say, what do you feel? Do you feel that's right? Does it seem right to you? And then they make me think about it. And that's how Swamiji was. Swamiji's training was just like that. Well, what do you feel? Like someone came to him, he had given them a job to do, a seva. And the guy came and said, well, Swamiji, what would you have me to do? And Swamiji, I gave you the job. You tell me what you're going to do. That's Ananda training. I gave you tell me, don't do this, then do that, then do this, then add that. You know, that's just not the way. And what happens? Everybody grows. Ananda is about lifting people up, not putting people down. It's about lifting people up and bringing out the best in everybody, bringing out the energy, bringing get the creativity, the thoughts. And I was in meetings with Swamiji where this one, I'm trying to give ones you won't forget, but this one, we had just come from Australia, serving there for 2 months, trying to get a work in Australia. Thank God now, that was in 92. Thank God now we have a work in Australia. So Swamiji wanted to really break into Australia. So he had, I don't know, 8 or 10 people there. I was one of the only people who had ever been to Australia. It was Swamiji had been, me, maybe 2 other people. And so Swamiji wanted people's thoughts. What do you think about us going into Australia? Like when we came to India, he had a group with him. So I was sitting there and Swamiji asked me first because I had been there. I'd just come back. And he said, okay, Dhyana, what do you think? And I had a long list why we shouldn't go to Australia. They're not interested in discipleship. They're not interested in a guru. They're not. And Swamiji just went, next. I just went to the next person, you know. He didn't want to hear it. He wanted positivity. And he also wanted movement. I mean, Ananda is a movement. It's not stagnant. And that's why we're going out more, because otherwise you get, oh, this is my little center, and then I got a center, and I got 5 people in my center, and I got a meditation group. Hello, that's not enough. Wait, that's not enough. Look how much Master did. Look how much Swamiji did. We can't ever get stagnant. We have to always be alive and vibrant, and it's a movement. And that's why Seva is so important. If you get in there and you just feel like, wow, I'm alive now. Otherwise, people call me, Dhyanaji, I feel bad. I said, don't call me now. Don't call me. Talk to somebody else. Okay, anything else?
Yeah, maybe one last question, Dhanaji. So what do Jyotishji and Deviji like? I mean, we know Jyotishji loves paintings, but anything else?
Yeah, and those paintings are a blessing. I mean, the painter's consciousness is in the painting. The composer's consciousness is in the music. That's why you love Swamiji's music and Master's chants, his vibrations. He said he put his vibrations there. So he loves painting, but he could not paint ever again. This is the thing. People say, no, he's attached to painting. He's definitely not attached to painting. And Swamiji encouraged him to paint for his own attunement, for his own spiritual growth. And so he paints from time to time. And he told me last time, he said, now you notice in the paintings, they're either nature or you find Master in there or Swamiji in there or both. So he's painting what he's feeling and seeing. You understand the difference? And it's never just kind of like this. It's very clear. And it's a gift to have his paintings. And yeah, they like family time. Deviji likes cooking. She's an amazing, I'd say one of the best cooks I've ever known. Delicious food. Now, why? Why? Vibration. It's a vibration. This is a teaching in itself. His paintings have the vibration. high consciousness, uplifting. Her food has a vibration of Divine Mother. It's so loving. So yes, they like to do things, but they're doing them with high consciousness, with heart, with God, with Guruji. And yeah, I would say those are the things. And being together with friends and taking a walk and simple things. They're very simple people, very loving, very simple. Their life is just very calm. There's not a lot of up and down, up and down, up and it's just calm, peaceful, joyful, loving. They've arrived at that point. What a blessing. Okay.
Ranjana, do you have a question? You were raising your hand. We can finish with yours, the last.
About the upcoming renewal at Pune, if you could just tell us.
Yeah, there's spiritual renewal weekend. Not a whole week, which we have at Ananda, California. It's a whole week. But here we're having a weekend, starts on a Thursday night and goes to Sunday lunch. I hope you all will attend. You should know about it. If not, you will know about it. Isn't it so? As of today. And it's India-wide. Jyotish and Deviji are doing the program. It's the first one we've ever had in India. Wow. It's every year for the past almost 60 years at Ananda Village. Every year, people gather from all over America, come for classes, meditations, musical evenings, kirtans, question and answer with Jyotish and Deviji. We're doing that in India. You don't have to go to that in America. You understand? And it's a launch for the first time. Of course, all the monks will be there, the acharyas, kriya acharyas will have first kriya, likely higher kriya. There'll be a time Jyotishji will talk about this painting, Q&A time with them, Kartikeyanji will be there. I would get the information and come. Okay. Many blessings to you all. And now, if you would like a blessing, someone will play a chant and then you can come up for a blessing. You can help me, right? Please stand. Let's close, rubbing our hands together, visualizing souls in need everywhere, sending out the divine light to the whole world. Oh. Oh. Oh, Divine Mother, great masters, may thy love shine forever on the sanctuary of my devotion, and may I be able to awaken thy love in all hearts. I am thine, be thou mine. I am thine, be thou eternally mine. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.